After the mess, I'm in and somehow try to lead my children there. So after the treatment program, they released me out of there and I went to a methadone clinic. This is where I utilized Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, PHA support groups, any kind of support. I needed to learn how to create myself again without the drug culture, which had always been a comfortable part of my life. So, and this is significant for the methadone people. When I left that treatment center, they were giving me 80 milligrams of methadone, but they were giving it to me twice a day, right? Once in the morning and once at night. So when I got out of the treatment center and I came home and I started at the methadone, because you don't have carries, they write you your prescription, you go to the pharmacy in the morning, you get your drink, 80 milligrams, and I would drink it. So I drank that, and I could never find the comfort level that I had found with getting 40 milligrams in the morning, 40 milligrams at night. But I hadn't put this together yet, because at 80 milligrams I was still pretty groggy, right? That's why I wrote, this was a very slippery slope. What happened was, I was waking up in the morning and I was sick, stiff, and sore every morning, and vomiting, right? So when you walk into a methadone clinic and they're trying to get you stable on methadone, and you tell them that you're feeling any of those, right? They go, oh, you're not stable, I think you need the dosage adjustment, right? And I said, okay, because I don't like feeling so stiff, sore, and puking every morning. So I was adjusted upwards, like 5 milligrams weekly, and I was still waking up, stiff, sore, sick, and vomiting in the morning. 20 milligrams, I said, you know what? I realized finally that more drugs would not work, and I started reducing. I wanted to get off methadone. So what happened then was, with the help of my partner, with the help of all of my support systems, I told people, look, I want off this, and I started reducing, right? 5 milligrams at a time. Sometimes 5 milligrams a week, sometimes 5 milligrams every other week, sometimes 5 milligrams a month, depending on where I went, because they started me at 50 milligrams, and I was at 120. So basically, I really embedded 50 notes a day from 2006 until April 28, 2009. And I have gotten back down to the 15 milligrams of methadone that they had started me on. Right? It was then they addressed my still stiff, sore, sick, and vomiting in the morning. And they said, well, I found a specialist who understood HIV, hepatitis C, and neuropathic pain, which is what is going through me. And this doctor, after seeing doctors for 16 years, is the first one who said to me, how can I help you? When he said that, I just started bawling. I've never been asked that question, and once he asked it, I realized how long I haven't been asked that question. Is I'm a chronic pain person, okay? And this doctor managed it properly, right? In April 28th, he adjusted that for me. From April 28th to today, I finished 3 levels of the provincial people having HIV leadership trainings. I graduated, I went back and got the last credit to graduate into community worker. directors for the AIDS Committee of Windsor. I helped co-create the Opiate Sharing Circle in Moraviantown. I sit on the HIV Hepatitis Working Group for CPAC, which is an official organization. I'm on the Central Planning Committee for the first National HIV Hepatitis Co-Infection Research Summit. Me and my partner have implemented a medicine wheel healing map, and we just finished a retreat with 12 people all living with HIV. And it's the first time the AIDS Committee Service ever had a retreat run completely by people who have HIV for people living with HIV. So I'm a very strong believer in the power of support groups and peer mentoring. And so what I'd like to do is sort of stick the timeline up, and then if you have questions about that, I can answer. So, in the province right now, there seems to be two groups that are working with people who are addicted to alcohol and drugs. Let's just say drugs, because alcohol is a drug, right? So, and those camps are the abstinence camp, right? Where, and the other camp is the harm reduction camp. And it's like this, it's on a continuum, right? And once a person slips from this group, it's a long journey to find of relapses, trying to find the harm reduction crowd at the other end. There's a lot of people in the province who believe it should look like this. It should be a circle, right? With the abstinence in the middle. Abstinence is the ideal goal. And the people who, for whatever reason, can't achieve total abstinence have the harm reduction circle for them to live in until they can get into the abstinence. Because the next circle is drug culture. Because I had HIV and hepatitis C, and I had to take antiretroviral therapy, that's the medication. And it's like a form of, it's almost like a chemotherapy, right? But a mild form of chemotherapy to keep the virus at bay. And the long-term side effects of that is it affects all of the nerves, the neuropathic nerve waves. It strips the coating off the nerves, and it's a very painful thing. My feet burn, tingle, go numb on a good day, right? As a result, always something weird going on there. So I had to go to Quebec to find a doctor who understood everything that was going on with me. See, a lot of the methadone doctors here are only licensed to prescribe methadone for addiction. They're not licensed to prescribe methadone for pain. And I went to Quebec and I found a doctor, and he said to me immediately, "Of course you have pain, right? We have no idea what the long-term side effects of this medication you've been taking, right? And I could have had any pain pill I wanted, right? What I wanted was the methadone tablet, right? It came on slow, right? So there was no euphoria. It took care of my pain. I could take it once every 8 hours, and I was able to, I was pain-free, right? I've never gotten high on the pill. I've never abused the pill. If you're a chronic non-cancer pain person and your pain stops, that is euphoria. The depression that comes from being in pain all the time was horrific, right? So when I went and seen the specialist and I talked to him, and with the stroke of a pen, he took me from being an addict, right, a methadone addict in recovery, to being a pain patient. Automatically, all of the stigma, and there is so much of it for people on methadone, right? The amount of stigma to have to walk into that clinic, to piss in a jar, to, I mean, it's still easier than going to the drug house, right? And I believe in methadone because it saved my life. But, and now what has since happened is in, I think it was May or June of this year, they published a 125-page document called Chronic Non-Cancer Pain on the national level, and they consulted with the pharmacies and the College of Physicians and Surgeons in every province across Canada. So now that's their term, chronic non-cancer pain patient, and they have all of these recommendations, right? And so for people, it's going to make things a little easier now, right? The only thing that got me the credibility was just going to meetings, providing clean urines, and the doctor watching me constantly reducing, right? And knowing that I was in pain and still wanting to, because I needed to get back to what they started me at, to prove to them that, right? Now I want my pain fixed. Hopefully with this new chronic non-cancer pain thing, people won't need to go all the way outside of the province. Montreal, and he gave me a month's worth of a prescription, and I came back here thinking that I would go to a doctor, give him the prescription, and he would renew it. He wouldn't see me till the last day, and then he told me he needed more information, which meant I needed to get in my car and drive back to Montreal again and see that doctor. And the doctor said, okay, they want to play those kind of games. Here's 5 months worth of the medication, right? And coordinated it with the pharmacy and let me come back home, because then I'd been on it for 6 months. It was a proven, documented therapy, and they couldn't ignore it. Did I answer what you wanted to know about Montreal?
Sort of, but I would like you to tell them how, when I first heard you speak, you said that you were on methadone, and it was hard because you couldn't go anywhere.
Oh, they call it liquid handcuffs. It's, for those people who are worried about methadone, bringing methadone into the community for opiate addicts, right? I can honestly say most people get so tired of having to go to the drugstore. The best you'll ever get is 7 days, right? I couldn't go out of the country. I couldn't go out of the province, right? I could not get more than 7 days worth of that drug at any one time without going back to the pharmacy, right, to see them. So that ball and chain, or the liquid handcuffs that they call it, it needs to be there as a safety mechanism, and it definitely nudged me all along the way, reminding me that I hated this week-long leash, and the only way I could get out from the week-long leash was to go down off the methadone. And see, what happens is when people show up and they see the methadone doctor for the first time, they're saying, I'm in pain, and they are in pain, right? But there's emotional pain, right? There's mental pain, there's physical pain, right? And as addicts, because we don't like pain at all, any kind, that's why I got addicted to those pills. I remember laughing and saying, if it works that good on physical pain,